Rick Astley's here, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
Oh my gosh, I'm a bit giddy because I'm a bit of a fan.
Thank you very much.
I literally used to get like a wooden spoon out of my kitchen drawer and sing that song, although I got the words wrong yesterday.
I was tennis rackets myself. I was tennis rackets in the bedroom.
What has made you go back into the studio after all this time?
A number of things, I think. I think I just got to a stage in my life where I've always kind of fiddled around with music. I've always had studios and what have you. And various friends had said to me, look, the stuff you're doing right now is really good. And I was coming up for a milestone birthday of 50, and I kind of just decided, well, you know what, I'll just make a record and we'll see how we go, really. But I didn't start out with that. I didn't really start out to make a record. It just kind of...
So you were making music for yourself, basically?
Yeah, I think a lot of people do. I think if you've been in music and loved music as the way I have, it's been my life, really. I've always dabbled with things. It's just I've not always been really desperate to make a record again, but I just kind of feel comfortable enough to do that now, I think.
Is it fair to say that you fell out of love with the music industry?
Absolutely, 100%, yeah. It is a business at the end of the day, and I was really lucky, obviously Pete Waterman and those guys, put me on a amazing start and everything, but I just think that it is a business, and sometimes I used to feel like I could have been selling beans or I could have been selling paint at one point, do you know what I mean? And you get so far away from the music. And, yeah, so I just fell out of love with that side of it, really, yeah.
I should also say that you are a man of many talents. Oh. But we definitely put you through to the next round.
We said we weren't going to talk about that, but OK.
It's a morning show, it's a family show. But you play all the instruments.
I have done, yeah. Like I say, I've got a studio at home, and I wouldn't put myself out there as being a musician, but I can play a bit of everything, yeah. And that's been kind of a challenge, but it's also been something that I've really loved to do because it just feels like it's my record, more than any record I've ever made, really, so that's great.
And you said yourself, you've just hit a milestone birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And that inspired the name of your album.
Yeah, it did. I've called the album 50. I'm also copying Adele a little bit.
I was just going to say, I wonder if Adele will have one called 50.
I've got that one, love. I've got 50. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Adele's, by the way, and I went to see her a couple of weeks back. And, yeah, but I just think there's something in that thing about, obviously, her records have been her ages when she's made those records. And like I say, well, it is a big milestone, I think, turning 50. I mean, I'm comfortable with it. I'm totally OK with it, but it just I thought it was a bit funny as well, so...
Well, you still got good knees when we did that dance.
Well...
You were a bit worried, weren't you?
Too much skiing, to be honest. I've done too much skiing, yeah, I think,
Oh, it's a tough life you've got.
There you go. Well, there you go. There you go. Skiing and making records.
You were on tour. You were in Birmingham last night, we were saying earlier. But you've done it a bit differently this time, because you've ditched the tour bus.
I like to drive myself anywhere, to be honest. Even, I mean, when I've done tours of Australia in the last few years, I've literally driven from city to city, and some of those journeys are pretty big. I don't really like flying. I do it, obviously, quite a lot. So when I look in the schedule, I kind of think to myself, well, if I can drive it, I will. So I've driven literally all over Europe doing gigs and what have you. But I also think you get to see a bit of the country that way.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's too easy sometimes to just get on a plane, arrive, go to a big hotel, get in the back of a very nice black car, be taken somewhere, blah, blah, blah. You don't see anything, and you don't eat local food that way either. You don't do anything local, so...
Do you take your family with you? Do they go with you?
Quite often, yeah. My wife manages me now as well, so that's kind of
Let's
cozy.
keep it in the family.
Yeah. We get to share a lot of the good times in doing what I'm doing, and that, to be honest, what I do now, it is filled with good times.
It's filled with good times, and I think it makes it much better when you can share it with your family. Because what else is it all about, really? I think.
Sure, yeah.
And very briefly, I need to talk to you about Rick rolling.
Okay, yeah.
So, explain to me what actually happened. How did you... I know.
No, in a nutshell, somebody sends somebody an email with a link in it.
Right.
You click on the link, it's a video, it starts, but then you get rickrolled, i.e. The video for Never Gonna Give You Up comes in the middle of the link. So obviously I've sung that song and a couple of others at friends' weddings and things like that, but other than that, I didn't really sing professionally for years, so... in a way, I'm glad I've got those songs. A lot of people...
Well, you've got those songs for your fan base, but you've got a brand new fan base as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying. I think the amazing thing for everybody right now with music is that, and it's never going to change, I guess, is that
never going to change.
Yeah, is that the internet has changed everything. So therefore, you've got people of all ages, even young people, coming to gigs of mine, even, and obviously they know some of the songs. Just like they would, a contemporary artist who's out there right now, kind of thing. So,
fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, thank you ever so much for coming. And the new single, Keep Singing, is out now, and your album, 50, is out on June the 17th.